Good evening, Patriots. Breaking news pouring in from around the globe on this historic day. And you're watching the Raw Feed, the only show brave enough to bring you the real story behind the headlines. I'm Gary Franchi, and tonight, it's Friday night, baby. We're going to be joined by our White House correspondent, Thomas McCullagh, with his final reporting from his extraordinary week in Washington, D.C., late-breaking developments. We've been talking with Tom and trying to digest just what happened at the Supreme Court. And, of course, the Biden audio has leaked from the Her deposition. We're going to play some of that for you. But before we dive deeper, if you're watching this right now, grab your phone and text this live stream link to every single patriot that you know. Why? Look at those numbers. Big tech's algorithms are trying to bury us, but they can't stop direct sharing. We're broadcasting live worldwide on YouTube, Rumble, and X, and even LinkedIn and Instagram. So you need to follow us on all 5 platforms because you never know when the censors will strike. This is week 16 of Donald Trump's glorious return to the White House, and tonight's show is absolutely explosive. We've got a $1 trillion Middle East deal that's going to reshape the global economy, a chilling revelation about China's secret biological program, and the shocking truth about those 5 Rino traitors who just sabotaged Trump's one big, beautiful bill in committee. And speaking of shocking, wait until you hear about the former FBI Director Comey's cryptic 8647 message that has a Secret Service on high alert. Let's just say he's learned the meaning of FAFO. Yeah. Now, we also have word that the president will be landing back at the White House at 10:40 Eastern time, so we will be waiting. Our cameras will be rolling on site at the White House, awaiting his triumphant return. But what sets this show, the Raw Feed, apart is that it's not just a broadcast. It's a two-way conversation. Throughout the show, we'll be featuring your super chats and your Rumble rants right here on the screen for the world to see. Your voice matters. And between segments, we'll be showcasing your reactions to these explosive developments. There is a live shot of the White House right now where President Trump will be returning very soon from that whirlwind Middle East tour. Now, we have lots of news. If you're here on YouTube, you can also you can take your support to the next level by joining our channel memberships. Each tier comes with exclusive perks, from special chat badges to behind-the-scenes content, exclusive access to our Discord server, and have direct interaction with the Next News team there. So, Patriots, you know this. We can't do this alone. The mainstream media wants to silence voices like ours. That's why we need your support. So check the description below. If you want to help keep real news alive, you'll find links in the description to donate. And don't forget to shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com for exclusive Next News merch to show the world that you stand for truth. So tonight is going to be a broadcast for the history books. Make sure you've got your bourbon cold, you've got your coffee hot, your popcorn buttered, because we've got exclusive insight from the White House. Deep state treachery exposed, China's terrifying plans revealed, and we'll show you exactly how President Trump has just outmaneuvered the global elite in the Middle East. Now, the mainstream media won't touch these stories. The big tech giants want them buried, but we are here live and uncensored, bringing you the truth they don't want you to hear. So settle in, Patriots. Share the stream. Follow us across all platforms, and get ready for a show that is going to blow the lid off the stories that they're trying to hide. The Raw Feed starts now. Let's welcome you to the show. Steel Mill in the house. What's up, Steel? We got Lish in the house as well. John Curry is here. We got El Shara, Silverheart, Loyalty to Truth, Irony Rose. Who else is in the house? Les Paul. We've got Susan Hutchins has just become a member. Welcome to the family. We got Roger in the house too. Who else is here? We've got Dan Dewitt, Michael Verasto, Loyalty to Truth. Who else? Come on, sound off. Sound off. Who's here tonight? James Snowden is here, sure. We got Dan Dewitt, Michael, Elisha, and let's just keep this show going. So you can see the numbers, folks. Kind of scary. clearly the censorship machine is in overdrive tonight. So we have a lot of news to get into. We got to cover what just happened in the Supreme Court. We got Tom with exclusive insights there. You won't believe where he's reporting from either. So let's just jump right into it. Something just happened in the Middle East that's going to change everything, Patriots, while the mainstream media was busy spizzing the... Take it back. We're going to do take two. No, we're not going to let that one slide. No, thank you. All right, take two, Brian. Something just happened in the Middle East that's going to change everything, Patriots. While the mainstream media was busy spinning their tired narratives, President Trump was orchestrating what may be the most significant diplomatic achievement of the century. We've got the numbers in front of me that are going to blow your mind. We're talking about the kind of deal they said was impossible, the kind of victory that's going to reshape America's future for decades. Our White House contributor, Tom McCullagh, was there, and it all went down. And let's just say the global elite are in absolute panic right now. Now, here's the hard truth. Every 6 years, your dollar loses half its buying power. That means $100,000 savings today could feel like $50,000 by 2031. And you see it every time you fill up the tank. Buy groceries, pay the bills, prices are up, dollars down, but there's a simple way to protect the value of your savings with something real, something proven. It's gold, an asset that holds its value over time. That's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. They make it simple to protect your savings with physical gold or silver. No high-pressure sales, no call centers, just honest guidance, one-on-one support, and transparent pricing. And right now, when you open a qualified account, Noble Gold will send you a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar as a thank you. So head to nextnewsgold.com to learn more, or you can call that number on the screen, 877-646-5347. Don't just protect your wealth, preserve its power. And when you call and you talk to Colin, you tell him that Gary Franchi sent you. Even if you're not buying gold, just call him and prank him. Just let him know that you saw the ad. That's all we need. That's the proof we need. I love you, Colin. Thank you for your support. Okay. So much happened. I was up. It was like 4:30 this morning. The pool reports were coming in from the Middle East. Couldn't sleep at all. It's like Christmas every day when you're following President Trump because it's exciting. It's like a new gift for America. So I don't want to get too deep in the weeds in this thread because it's been up for many hours already. But we do have news that has just come in from the Supreme Court. We've got Tom's hit from the White House. I think we can just start with that, and then we're going to get into what happened just moments ago, the breaking news from the Supreme Court. Tom's got some really insightful analysis that you're not going to hear anywhere else. Okay, everyone else is painting this as a big loss for President Trump, but we have a story I think people are overlooking. But first, let's get to what happened in the Middle East with Tom.
Golf tour. Hey guys, this is Thomas McCullagh reporting from the White House with the Next News Network. And guys, today we've got some incredible updates straight from the President Trump's Middle East trip. And let me tell you, he's delivering big for America. The man's been working hard in the United Arab Emirates, wrapping up a tour that's already secured massive wins for our country. He's got some personal good news to share as well. We'll get to that. So President Trump just finished his golf tour in Abu Dhabi, and results are nothing short of amazing. He's brought home a jaw-dropping $1.4 trillion in investment from the United Arab Emirates alone. Money that's going to create jobs and boost our tech industry right here at the United States. On top of that, he secured deals for AI chips and brought more orders for Boeing, showing the world that America is open for business again. And let's not forget, while he was there, the UAE gave him their top honor, a clear sign of respect for our fearless leader. So now, while Abu Dhabi, President Trump shared some heartwarming news about his family. He's a proud grandpa again. His daughter just had a baby, and he's eager to get home and see that little bundle of joy. Go ahead and check this out.
It's been a tremendous time, and now it's time to go back home. My daughter had a baby. I'm going to go back home and see that little baby. And then we get back to a lot of work, see what happens with Russia and Ukraine. I think it's something that's just get up to killing 5,000 people a week. 5,000 young people a week on average being killed in a war that is going nowhere. It's a shame. Should have never happened. But we have other things to do also. Plus we have an Iran situation, which we're going to take care of. One way or the other, we're taking care of. It'll be taken care of 100%. It'll be done nicely or not nicely. And the not nicely is not a good thing for them. And I think we're talking to them and I think they've come a long way.
But that's not all. President Trump also took time to speak with our brave troops stationed in the region, lifting their spirits and reminding them that their commander-in-chief has their back. He thanked them for their service, promising to keep America strong and safe, something this administration has never, ever wavered on. And here's another big move. Trump's pushing forward with his new fighter jets for our military. These cutting-edge planes are being built to keep our forces ahead of the game, ensuring that no one dares to challenge America's might. It's the kind of bold leadership that we've come to expect from 47, always putting our nation first. Trump is he's never compromised on that. If I'm wrong, show me, but he hasn't. And guys, that's all for now. President Trump's making America great again. One deal, one jet, one speech, 100,000 deals at a time. He's never, man, what is it, like $4.2 trillion in 5 days for the United States, 4 million jobs from one trip. And Biden said, oh, we can't do that. And Obama was like, oh, we can't build back better. Trump, he's never once backed down. Guys, stay proud, stay strong, stay vigilant. God bless the United States of America. Hey, guys.
Amen. Thank you for that, Tom. Okay, so so when this news broke, we got the audio from Axios 2 of Joe Biden, the Her probe. We're going to play that. It's a disaster. But, okay, so the Supreme Court news just broke. And I said, Tom, you got to do a hit. And, of course, he came through in the bathroom at the airport. Let's go.
Doing this the way. Hey, guys, this is Thomas McCullagh, White House correspondent with the Next News Network. I was just leaving D.C. to head back home with the wife and kiddos. And, of course, breaking news hit like a freight train. So here I am, holed up in a quiet bathroom space, bringing you guys the truth straight from the front lines. So let's go ahead and dive into what's happening. You guys can see my camera in the background here. We're doing this the way it goes. So, hey, the Supreme Court just dropped a bombshell, and it's not good. President Trump has been fighting tooth and nail to secure our borders, targeting dangerous Venezuelan gang members tied to Tren de Aragua. He's using the Alien Enemies Act, a law from 1798 that gives him the power to deport threats to our nation. And let me tell you, it's about time someone took a stand against the chaos at our borders. And Trump's not messing around, and the American people are behind him. But here's the kicker. The Supreme Court, in an unsigned order, temporarily blocked these deportations at the Bluebird Bonnet Detention Center. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't a total shutdown of Trump's plan. It's a narrow pause just for a group of detainees in northern Texas. The court's saying the administration didn't give these folks proper notice or a chance to challenge the deportations in court. Habeas corpus, they call it, a fancy for making sure someone gets their day in court. It's called Show Me the Body. So it's a tenet to our Constitution, but it's real. But let's be real. The court's not saying Trump's wrong to use the Alien Enemies Act. Back on April 7th, they ruled 5-4 that he can use it as long as detainees get a heads up and a shot to fight their case. And who's out here dissenting, standing up for common sense? Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, that's who. They're not buying this delay tactic, neither should you. This smells like the left is trying to slow down Trump's momentum to keep America safe. And it really does look like that. And we all know Amy Coney Barrett was on the other side of that. So let's continue. So this matters because Tren de Aragua isn't some street gang. These are hardened criminals linked to violence, drugs, and terror. And President Trump's been crystal clear. These people don't belong here. He's not rounding up innocent family. He's going after gang members who threaten our communities. And the American people elected him to exactly this: clean house and put America first. But the ACLU and their activist buddies are crying foul, saying these detainees, many of whom didn't even speak English, didn't get enough warning. Come on, boo-hoo. You know what else? Who doesn't get a warning? The crime waves hitting our cities. These gang members are let loose. The people that they're killing, and Trump's trying to send them packing to a prison in El Salvador where they belong. And the left wants to tie his hands with red tape. It's outrageous and disgusting. Court's order doesn't say how long this block will last, but mark my words, this is a speed bump, not a roadblock. Trump's team is already working to make sure that every I is dotted and every T is crossed, and he's not backing down, and neither are we. The Supreme Court's own ruling from April says deportations can move forward with proper notice. So this isn't just some matter of time before Trump's plan is back in motion. Sorry, it's kind of hard to hear with all the other noise going on. I'm sorry, but we're trying our best to get you guys this news. So let's talk about what's at stake. If we let these gang members stay, we're rolling out the red carpet for more crime, more drugs, and more danger in our neighborhood. President Trump is fighting for you, for your family, for your safety, and your future. The left wants to open borders and chaos. Trump wants law and order. And I know exactly what side I'm on, and I know what side you're on if you're watching this. Now, the media is going to spin this as a loss for Trump, but don't fall for it. This is a temporary pause, not a defeat. The Supreme Court still got Trump's back on the big. They've already said he can use the Alien Enemies Act. This is a procedural hiccup, and Trump's too smart to let it stop him. So he's out there fighting the deep state, the activists, and the fake news, all while keeping his promise to make America great again. And he's delivering on that every single day. Just look what he did in the Middle East. 4 million jobs, $4.2 trillion in investment. And this is why we need President Trump. He's taking on the toughest fights, even when the system tries to slow him down. The Supreme Court's playing games with paper, but Trump's playing for keeps, keeping our country safe from foreign gangs. So stay tuned. The story's far from over, guys. This is Thomas McCullagh reporting from a bathroom in Reagan International Airport. God bless everyone. Stay safe.
Okay, so Tom came through in a pinch, and we had a conversation after that, and we were kind of speculating on what all this means. What are Donald Trump's next moves? And I said, well, you know what, Tom, you got to file a report on this, so people can understand like the 4D chess game that's being played. So let's go back to Tom. He's out of the bathroom now, and there's like thousands of people at the airport.
Gang members at the. Hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh, White House correspondent with the Next News Network. I'm currently stuck in delays at the airport, and of course, breaking news has to just keep happening while I'm at the airport. So here I am bringing you the truth the other fake news guys don't want to touch. So tonight, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into what's really going on with President Trump's immigration and border security strategy. The headlines are screaming workplace raids, tougher asylum rules. Texas is declaring an invasion. Buses are moving migrants out. The left is celebrating over the Supreme Court's latest move to pause deportations of Venezuelan gang members at the Blue Bonnet Detention Center, but they're missing the real story. Trump is playing a long game, and the media either doesn't see it or they don't want you to. So here's the truth. Trump's team isn't just deporting people or building the wall. They're setting a legal trap. Every policy, raids, invasion, declarations, expanded deportations, it's a calculated move. They're baiting Democrats, activist judges, and blue state governors to sue them. And why is that? Because every lawsuit maps out the battlefield. It shows exactly where the resistance is coming from. The Supreme Court's ruling today is part of the plan. They paused the deportation of some Trinidad thugs over proper notice, but the court has already ruled 5-4 in favor in April that Trump can use the Alien Enemies Act. This is a hiccup, not a roadblock. Justice Thomas and Justice Alito dissented, and they're spot on. This is just noise, guys. Trump's forcing these flights now to clear the path for deportations later on. And this is where it gets massive. Trump is not targeting illegal immigrants. He's going after the cartels full force. The other people won't report, but the biggest obstacle to smashing the cartels has always been controlling the border. Without complete and total operational control, those drug lords can slip across, guns blazing, and we're left chasing their tails. That's changing. Texas is stepping up. It's using its constitutional power to call an invasion. And just weeks ago, Mexican Senate voted to authorize special military operations against the cartels on the side. Even Mexico is gearing up. This is just a setup for a huge joint operation. Picture coordinated strikes, border lockdowns, and military force to crush cartel strongholds on both sides. And they're not rushing in blind. He's forcing these legal battles now over deportations, state powers, federal authority to lock in the wins before the move. Every court ruling strengthens his hands for what is coming: a national invasion declaration, military mobilization, and millions of deportations. The battlefield is being mapped presently. So here's a shocker. Mexico is already on board. Their Senate voted a green light for these joint actions. When Trump declares the border under military control and launches these operations, the cartels are done. This isn't about stopping illegal immigration. It's about dismantling the criminal networks trafficking drugs, people, and guns across our border. And that's control. That is the mission. And the left side, they're melting down over every raid, every ruling, but they don't get it. Trump's playing the long game. He knows the lawsuits will come. That's the point. By fighting these battles early, he's clearing the way for when the American people demand action, and they will, just like we've been demanding action at the White House every time we're out there. When the time comes to lock down these borders, crush the cartels and deport millions, the legal groundwork is ironclad. The courts will have already spoken, and they're playing a game of master chess presently. So when you see the media freaking out over a single policy or a court pause like today's, don't buy it. It's not about the moment, it's about what's next. Trump is building a foundation to take back our border, protect our communities, and make America safe again. And let me tell you, they're winning. Stephen Miller, he's not a joke. He knows exactly what's going on. This is President Trump fighting for you, for your family, for our country. The deep state, the activists, they can't stop him. Hey guys, I'm reporting from the waiting room of an airport with like 400 people around. This is just fun. I know you guys are about to cut in on this on the live. God bless. Hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh,
All right,
White House.
thank you for that, Tom. And of course, setting a roadmap for suspending habeas corpus. Yes, those words have been uttered multiple times. We've heard it in congressional testimony. I heard it personally asked of the press secretary in the White House briefing room by Rogan O'Hanley just a few weeks ago. So we know that is on the table now. It may seem scary, but have seen this before. I mean, just think about what Abraham Lincoln had to do to bring this country back together. If we're under an invasion, all bets are off. So we're going to keep watching this. And of course, we're watching what just happened. Axios dropping the partial her probe audio is jaw-dropping. Biden sounds adrift and fumbling through answers that were sold to America as robust. This makes White look quaint. Listen for yourself and ask, who orchestrated the cover story? Who was running the country? You know, we were begging for this during his administration. They buried it. They refused to give it to the public. And now we know why.
So during this time, we were living in Chambers Road, and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center or the Biden shot or your book. Where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so it was, and by the way, there were still a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were encouraging me to run in this period, except the president. That's not a mean thing to say. I mean, he just thought that she had a better shot of winning the presidency than I did. And so I hadn't at this point, even though I'm at Penn, I hadn't walked away from the idea that I might run for office again. So if I ran again, I'd be running for president. And so what was happening though, what month did Bo die? May 30th,
2015.
Was it 2015 he died?
2015.
I think it's 2015.
I'm not sure the months are, but I think that was
Yeah.
That's right, Mr. President.
And what's happened in the meantime is that Trump gets elected in November of 2017? 2016. All right. So, why do I have 2017 here?
That's when you left office, January of 2017.
Okay. But that's when I got sworn in then.
Right.
January.
Right. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And in 2017, Bo had passed, and this is personal. The genesis of the book and the title, Promise Me Dad, was I know you're all close with your sons and daughters, but Bo was like my right arm, and that was my left. These guys were a year and a day apart, and they could finish each other's sentences. And Bo, I used to go home on the train in the period that I was still in the Senate. Anyway, let's just remember. There was pressure, not pressure. Bo knew how much I adored him. And maybe this sounds so, everybody knew how close we were. There was not anybody in the world who wondered whether or not. Anyway. And so.
Sir, I'm wondering if this is a good time to take a break briefly.
No, let me just keep going to get it done.
So during this time we were living in.
That's just how bad it was. And no wonder they hid that from us for so long. It would have been the 25th Amendment right out the gate. Immediately. But they wanted to keep their puppet show going. They wanted to keep their agenda, keep pushing it through. They wanted to keep spending billions of dollars in Ukraine, laundering money. USAID money, continue that flow. I mean, they had the perfect puppet in chief. And now we know why they hid that so long. So we're going to tracking the fallout on that. Before I go further, I'm going to get a couple of these clips in from some of the moments at the UAE, Abu Dhabi, talking about, let's just throw it to Rapid Response 47. People in this room have helped to commence between the U.S. and the UAE.
In the Middle East, the people in this room have helped commence between the United States and United Arab Emirates, grow $34 billion a year, America's second highest total in the Middle East, and catching, going, but, the other one's going up very quickly also. The United States has also put $19.5 billion trade surplus with UAE, and we are really thriving economically. And over the last period of time, we started it 8 years ago, the relationship. Then it was interrupted, as you know, sadly interrupted, and not much happened. Nothing happened, actually. But the relationship is now at a much higher level than it ever was, and it's going to only go in one direction because of the relationship. We have American companies. We have Exxon, Oracle, RTX, Telcom, and many others, too many to name. Disney, I see the new theme park is going to be incredible. Bob Iger was in my office the other day, and he was showing me it's going to be incredible. The people in the...
Let's keep going. We got a couple more clips to hit at from that event. Here he is talking about the purchase of the Boeing aircraft.
The General Electric engine is phenomenal. The big body General Electric engine is phenomenal. So it's great to see. Thank you. So you focus on Boeing then?
Yes, sir. And probably the GE engine, they burn 20% less fuel, which is really, really important in terms of efficiency and emissions.
It's a hot engine.
So it's a very hot engine.
That's the hottest engine. That's great. 20% less fuel. That sounds good.
Mr. President, we
how many engines will they be buying then ultimately?
About 100. Altogether, about 100.
The big ones.
Yeah.
Are they the biggest engines at this point?
The 777X, yes.
That's the biggest one. That's the one we're hearing about.
Yes. And it's an amazing plane. We're really excited to announce.
They had a breakthrough GE on engines, and their big engine is the hottest engine there is. It's through the roof. And General Electric, you talk about a comeback. General Electric has made one of the great comebacks, and it's both in healthcare and other things, but on your engine, I think that's really maybe the greatest story of them all.
We got some audio, too, from a press gaggle President Trump hosted on Air Force One. It was a surprise. Reporters streaming the aisle as Trump recapped his 4-day Gulf Blitz. Let's listen in.
Remember, just back up just a little bit.
Now, I want to point out that this is totally raw audio. It was sent to me from the White House very early this morning. We don't have any video, so I did my best to just get it out as quick as possible for you guys. And we posted it to X. We're playing it for you now.
You need to see him, but ask questions.
Yeah, this is the trouble. Yep.
Next stop. Points on that.
You guys get the paperwork for the Turkish visa, so you gotta fill it out. Or we can do whatever you else.
Now, the president is about to enter. So you're hearing.
Be ready, guys.
Heads up.
Hello, everybody. So, enjoy your flight. That was a great 4 days. I think it was a historic 4 days. The jobs and money coming into our country has never been anything like it. You see that. And the companies are American-based companies. They're doing work that wouldn't have been available to them except for November 5th. November 5th was a big day for our country. So I just wanted that. We have great stamina also. We all have stamina. If you needed it, that was a test. I think they were giving us a test. But it was amazing what they've done in all three countries. You can't speak more highly. The job they've done is, in a fairly short period of time, is just outstanding. And they're great people, great leaders, 3 great leaders. So it's an honor. Now we'll go back to D.C. I have a nice grandchild waiting, which I'll see soon. But this was a fantastic moment for our country. I really believe that everyone's talking about it. And the respect shown to our country was incredible. Because nobody's treated like that. Nobody's treated well like that. So thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, you arrived here with a big victory. Nice to see you. Thanks for bringing us. You arrived here with a big victory, getting Idan Alexander out, working directly with Hamas, the last remaining American. Do you think the Israelis and Bibi Netanyahu can get his hostages out?
I don't know. We're going to find out pretty soon. We're going to know pretty soon. They're not in good shape, as you know. And different places, it's not one place. It's different places. Some of them are in better shape than others. A little bit depends on the place where they are. But we'll be working with them to get them.
The Israelis didn't want the U.S. to be recognizing the new Syrian government. Is there a message that...
I don't know. I didn't know about that. I thought it was the right thing to do. I've been given a lot of credit for doing it. Look, we want Syria to succeed. It's been a mess for 10 years and much longer than that. It would not have been. These were very biting. When you look at the sanctions, these were really brutal. And they would have, I would say, zero chance of success. And this way they have chance. Their leader is a strong person, but young and a lot of energy and wants to do a good job.
Mr. President, the IDF planning to send in tens of thousands of more troops and expand the war in Gaza, especially if there wasn't a ceasefire while you were here. Do you support that?
Well, we're going to see what happens. I think a lot of good things are going to happen over the next month. And we're going to see. We have to help also out the Palestinians. A lot of people are starving on Gaza, so we have to look at both sides. But we're going to do a good job. We're very happy with what happened with hope it continues, and I think what happens with India and Pakistan was a big
Senior Hamas
success. If you would have seen the level of anger between the two, it was not a good thing, yes.
A senior Hamas leader said that they might be willing to give up power, an Egyptian proposal, in order to bring peace. Is that a step that you...
Well, we're going to look at everything, but we want to get the hostages back. I've gotten, big majority back, but we want to get the hostages back. We'll see how that works out. Okay?
Mr. President, are you putting a call on their group? How do you think we get those talks on
We have to meet. He and I will meet. I think we'll solve it, or maybe not, but at least we'll know. And if we don't solve it,
up when you talk to the Syrian
I
president?
always talk about Austin Tice. Now, Austin Tice hasn't been seen in many, many years. You know that. He's got a great mother who's just working so hard to find her boy. So I understand it. Austin has not been seen in many, many years.
You were joking about the endurance that it takes to do this. This was a lot to do in a short period of time. Conversations about endurance often focus now on Joe Biden and his endurance and his abilities. The Hur tapes right now, there's a lot of discussion about it. When will they be released? Will you release them? How soon
Well, I haven't looked into that. That's up to Pam and the group. I haven't really looked into it. Look, everybody understands the condition of him. I know people that are 89, 90, 92, 93 years old that are literally perfect. But Joe was not one of them. And they did a lot of hiding. They were really playing games. And, you know, you can't do that. Our country's at stake. You see, even a thing like this, there's so many decisions, billions and billions, but then you have even more important decisions. You have decisions for life. And you can't have a man in that condition. And everybody was holding back, including the press, including the media.
So you're welcoming South Afrikaners into the country as refugees when you've closed off that door to a lot of other refugees from other parts of the world. What message does that send to those who say it isn't? Why is that fair?
Well, I think if I see people in distress, I don't care what color, what they look like, what anything, their size, their height, their eyes, I don't care. But I think that from all evidence, the farmers in South Africa are being treated brutally and supported, and nobody wants to cover it. But they happen to be white, and if they were black, I'd do the exact same thing. And we treat people very well when we see there's a genocide going on. So if it's a genocide, that's terrible, and I happen to believe it could very well be. South Africa's out of control, and it's been out of control for a long time, and the media doesn't report it. And I'm not looking for reporting, because, believe me, it's easier for me not to do anything about it, because I don't get nasty like that. But the fact is that we're about saving lives, and we're going to do that. So we've made a home, and we'll make a home for other people that are treated badly, no matter what their color.
You've done a lot of leader-to-leader diplomacy.
I'm not sure.
On Iran, has the U.S. given them a formal proposal? Has Steve Witkoff handed that over?
Yeah, they have a proposal. They know they have to move quickly.
How quickly?
Something bad's going to happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations.
So there you have it. That's the deal that took place this morning. We got it out to you as soon as we could, as soon as we received it from the White House. So much happening on this Friday. Of course, they're dropping the Joe Biden audio on a Friday, hoping it gets memory hold. I'm told that everyone's out. Everyone's at graduation weekends. Everyone's busy with family, preparing for the summer ahead. So there's a lot of distractions. Perfect time for that audio to get leaked out, and of course with the Supreme Court ruling as well today. The media is going to paint that as a big loss for Donald Trump, but of course it's simply a roadblock, and President Trump is playing 4D chess. He is letting them set up all the court cases so he can knock them down, and he has a clear path to deport millions of illegals. So, patriots, Donald Trump is showing us how real leadership changes the game. Biden was bumbling through his teleprompter readings. Trump was negotiating the deal of a century. Now, these investments, they're not just numbers on a page. They are American jobs, American energy, and American prosperity. But here's the question everybody should be asking. Why did the mainstream media try so hard to hide this massive victory from the American people? What are they so afraid of? Can't they just report at least one W for Trump? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you check out the Next News Network merch shop for our latest gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. All right, we're monitoring the numbers right now. The X feed is on fire. We've got a total of 12,000 people watching on X. On YouTube, the numbers aren't as hot as we've seen in the past, but I want to welcome all of the new viewers on X. Make sure you tap the follow and join us on this mission as we cover this historic administration of Donald J. Trump. We put out constant information, very detailed threads. We get pool reports from the White House on the regular. I mean, my email box is full of pool reports. It's hard to get through all of them. We get the executive orders. As soon as they're signed, we get all the information, and then we push it out to you guys, so you guys are the first to hear it. Okay, we got more news to jump into. I do see some super chats. I want to address those real quick before we get to our next topic of the evening. Looks like we have Michael De La Rocha, $9.99. Thomas McCullagh dropping $1.99. That's our White House correspondent. Thank you, Tom, for supporting the show that supports you. And Tony dropping $5. Hey, Gary, let's get going. Who's next? Our Boyd dropping $10 as well. Share on your social media pages, y'all. Text your friends a link. Let's beat the crap out of the algorithm. That's funny. And our Boyd dropping 5 gifted memberships to everyone who was in our YouTube channel. We do have YouTube channel memberships enabled, so you have behind-the-scenes access and 24/7 Discord access to the entire Next News family. Okay, we got to jump into the story about James Comey. Yeah, what happened there, huh? Well, we're going to get into all of the details. Now, Patriots, you were all here last night when we uncovered a disturbing social media post, seemingly innocent at first glance, but carrying a message so sinister it triggered an immediate Secret Service response. When a former FBI director makes a cryptic statement about the 47th president and then quickly deletes it, well, let's just say nothing happens by accident. The implications of the post, the timing, the desperate attempt to cover it up, it's all connected, and once you see what we've uncovered, you will understand why they tried so to make this disappear. Now, in times like these, when we're decoding deep state threats, mental clarity isn't just important, it's crucial. That's why I trust ageless multi-collagen. When you are investigating cryptic messages from former FBI directors, you need to be at your sharpest. It contains 5 types of collagen from 4 premium sources, blended into hydrolyzed peptides for easy absorption. No clumping, no odor, weird taste. It's non-GMO, gluten-free, and free from antibiotics and hormones. Tastes great in a smoothie. Order donates a meal to a hungry child through nokidhungry.org, but you can order yours at healthwithgary.com for 51% off and free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee, VIP health coaching, and a free ebook titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin. Tap the link in the YouTube description. Okay, so we've got the information that James Comey, yeah, he is in hot water. He posted this picture. Oh, I just stumbled upon on the beach. Yeah, sure you did, buddy. Sure you did. Well, as you can see, there has been some fallout. Ed Krasenstein, he had the Secret Service at his house. More details in a minute. Well, we don't really care, Ed. All you do is troll, but you FAFO. Yeah, we saw your posts. We saw you playing up those numbers that James Comey was celebrating as well, so that's why you got a visit from the Secret Service. Gunter Eagleman posted FAFO. Sean Farash says, good. These guys deserve to be investigated. James Comey to be escorted by Secret Service agents to the Washington field office after 8647 post for an interview. That's according to CNN. A lot of splaining about to occur. James Comey getting Secret Service escort to the FBI. Yeah, what do you think about that? Now let's jump into Tom's report from the White House on these developments.
Message on Instagram. He wrote, hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh reporting from the White House with the Next News Network. And guys, today we got a serious story that's everyone talking about. James Comey. The former FBI director is in hot water after posting a cryptic message on Instagram. He wrote 8647, which many are saying was a clear call to President Trump, our 47th president. Now, Comey claims he didn't know those numbers were linked to violence. Let's be real here. This guy ran the FBI for years. You're telling me he doesn't know what 8647 or 8645 or 8644 means? It's a slap in the face to every American who supports our great president. So now, Comey, he posted a picture of some seashells with that message. But as soon as the backlash started, he deleted it. Like, poof, gone, you know? In fact, people on X didn't just delete that post, but he deleted his entire account. And I haven't verified that yet. But that's not all. President Trump isn't staying quiet about this, and he's calling Comey out for what he really is. Trump says Comey knew exactly what he was doing. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the president had to say about this dangerous stunt. Let's go ahead and check this out.
He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear. Now, he wasn't very competent, but he was competent enough to know what that meant. And he did it for a reason, and he was hit so hard. Because people like me, and they like what's happening with our country. Our country has become respected again, and all this. And he's calling for the assassination of the president.
Obviously, he apologized and said he doesn't.
Well, he
wasn't
apologized
calling for violence. But
look, he's a very bad.
What do you want to see happen? What do you want to see happen?
I don't want to take a position on it because that's going to be up to Pam and all of the great people. But I will say this: I think it's a terrible thing, and when you add his history to that. If he had a clean history, he doesn't. He's a dirty cop. He's a dirty cop. And if he had a clean history, I could understand if there was a leniency. But I'm going to let them make that decision.
So what you just saw was President Trump laying out the truth, plain and simple. And he's not alone in this fight. White House is taking this very seriously, calling Comey's post a direct threat to the president's life. And they're not wrong to be worried. Trump has already survived 2 assassination attempts in 2024, one at a rally where he got shot, and one at a golf course where they had a gunman within a couple hundred meters of him. The Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security are now investigating Comey, and they should be. He's got millions of followers. And this isn't a game. This is the safety of the leader of the free world we're talking about. So there's more stuff going on. Posts on X are buzzing with reactions, and some folks are saying Comey should be locked up. Tulsi Gabbard, our director of national intelligence, did not hold back. She said she's deeply concerned for Trump's life and believes Comey belongs behind bars. That's appropriate. So, Associate Deputy Attorney General Ed Martin took it even further, saying Comey's either going to lie to a jury or admit he knew what 8647 meant. And either way, he's heading for a trap. So that's a fancy way of saying Comey's in big trouble, guys. He might be looking at jail time, and frankly, a lot of us think that's exactly where he belongs after trying to incite violence against a sitting president. So let's step back for a second and think about this, like deep breaths. So Comey was the head of the FBI. He's supposed to protect Americans and not put our president in danger. But instead, he posts something like this and then plays dumb, saying he didn't know it was a threat. So was he just incompetent? So, I mean, come on, we're not buying it, and neither is President Trump. The president has been through enough, fighting for us every single day, making America great again, while facing attacks from all sides. And now, this from a former FBI director trying to stir up trouble with a sneaky little post. It's disgusting. So, what's even worse is the timing. President Trump is working hard to fix this country, to bring back jobs, secure our borders, and make sure every single American feels safe. He doesn't need someone like Comey throwing fuel on the fire. The mainstream media is doing such a good job of it, and especially after everything Trump has been through. He's been shot. I mean, so the Secret Service is on high alert, and they're doing their job to keep him safe. But shouldn't Comey, of all people, know better? This isn't just a mistake. This feels like a calculated move by someone who's bitter and wants to see Trump fail. Think Crossfire Hurricane. Think all these other things these FBI guys did to set him up. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, maybe Comey didn't really know what it was. Maybe it was just a coincidence. But let me ask you this. If you were the head of the FBI and you saw threats like this every single day and you knew what all these things were, wouldn't you think twice before posting something that could be taken as a threat against the sitting president of the United States? I would. And of course you would. Comey's not some random guy on the street. He's a trained law enforcement official. He knew what he was doing. He ran the most a supposedly professional law enforcement agency in the world, and now he's trying to backtrack because he got caught. And that's not how it works, James. You don't get to play innocent when the stakes are this high. President Trump has the support of millions and millions and millions of Americans and tens of millions more across the world. And people who see through this nonsense. We're not going to let the radical left or washed-up bureaucrats like Comey tear down everything Trump has built, and we're trying to fix. The investigations are moving forward, and we'll be keeping a close eye on what happens next. If Comey thought he can get away with this, he's got another thing coming. Trump is stronger than ever, and he's not backing down. Not from Comey, not from anybody. And guys, that's all for now. Tom McCullagh from the White House with the Next News Network. God bless.
Thank you for filing that report for us, Tom. Now let's get into the details of the thread we posted earlier. Bombshell. Exposure of the left's assassination culture. Former FBI Director Comey caught red-handed calling for Trump's death while the fake news tries to cover it up. Meanwhile, they fabricate right-wing violence through deceptive editing. The hypocrisy is staggering. We see what we have compiled for you. Okay, so we just saw Donald Trump saying it. Even a child knows what that meant. I mean, they're calling for his assassination. Well, here's Tulsi Gabbard now confirming that Comey knew exactly what he was doing.
Director, Gabbard's the director of national intelligence. Are you buying that the former FBI director didn't know what 86 Trump meant?
Absolutely not, Jesse. That is a ridiculous and insane statement to make, certainly within this context, but especially coming from a guy who's the former director of the FBI. A guy who spent most of his career prosecuting mobsters and gangsters, people who know and execute other humans and use this exact lingo of 86. Comey himself admitted in his follow-on message that he knew that this was a political statement. Well, the only reason he knew that, Jesse, was because a little over a month ago, a bunch of anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk protesters were proliferating the use of this 8647 slogan, which was a veiled call to action to murder the sitting president of the United States.
Gabbard's the director of national...
Unbelievable. Cameron Kinsley nails it. This is disgusting behavior from the former FBI director. They say Trump is a threat to democracy. They incite violence against a duly elected president who won the popular vote. The hypocrisy astronomical. Let's check in with Real America's Voice.
Give me your quick take. I have you. Before I let you go, I want to ask you just one quick thing. James Comey today tells us that he stumbles upon seashells that just happen to be laying on the beach in the form of 8647 as in 8647. And then he tells us that he doesn't know that 86 stands for to eliminate or to get rid of. Give me your quick take on the former FBI director today.
Well, I think this is just disgusting behavior, and I'm glad that accountability is coming. We've already seen Tulsi Gabbard come out and say that, calling for his arrest, but this is what they do. They say that Trump is a threat to democracy when they're going out and inciting violence against a duly elected president who won by the popular vote. It's disgusting behavior, and I'm thankful that we have this administration, people like Kash Patel, people like Tulsi Gabbard who have already seen it and they're on it.
I have you. Before I let you go, I want to ask you just one quick thing. James Comey today.
Alex Jones, he nails it. The cultural inflection point is here. Comey's public call to action has backfired spectacularly.
A massive political... Ladies and gentlemen, Comey's public call to action to kill Trump has blown up in their face and has triggered a massive political cultural inflection point as big as when they failed to kill Trump in Butler, because it brings all of that back, and then people remember how it was Comey and the FBI covering it up, the Secret Service standing down, how the FBI tried to suppress what happened in Mar-a-Lago with the other killer, all the coup attempts politically by Comey, all the deep state tricks, all of the lawfare indictments, and Trump's doing a great job, and everybody sees us winning the trade war and $4 trillion more investment just this week, $10 trillion plus total, and the border and the globalists tried to crash the stock market, and that failed. So people know Trump's working for them. They know they stole the 2020 election. They know Trump fought back with us to win. And now they're calling for his death. And people see through it. It's criminal. This is the former FBI director with his long history of being at war with Trump saying 80-16, which means sink him or kill him. Ladies and
CNN gaslighting America again. It's not clear that this is what it really is. Give me a break.
He was walking along. This is we put up the post from Jim Comey. He says he was walking along a beach and he saw shells that were arranged like this, 86-47. Now, 86 to 47 refers to, presumably, he says, political message about President Trump, who's the 47th president of the United States, and 86 colloquially could be used to be a term that says remove or rid of, right? Now, people on the right, the president's supporters, have taken this to mean that this was a threat, a direct threat to the president of the United States, an assassination threat. Obviously, the president has had 2 assassination threats, so people take these types of things very seriously. Kristi Noem says that it's now under investigation. You see other people, including Tommy Tuberville, saying this is a very serious matter. It's not clear that this is what really this is, right? Jim Comey did respond to us. We reached out to him, and he referred us to a replacement post he put on social media in which he says, I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down. And so now the question is, what does this become? Is this a real investigation? Clearly, he's saying that there was no threat, so that usually is the end of the story. But we don't live in times right now. This is we put up the post.
Laura Ingraham destroys Comey's absurd excuse. A shell formation I just came across? He also met Sasquatch on the beach. Listen.
Does James Comey's explanation of this pass any straight face test? A shell formation, which is a threat to Donald Trump's life, is just something he came across on the beach.
Yeah, of course he did. He also came across the abominable snowman and Sasquatch while he was walking along on the beach. Listen, this guy, James Comey's been a problem since day one. He likes to talk about how Trump is unethical, immoral, a threat to the United States. Yeah, how about the former director of the FBI has got nothing better to do than put shells in a formation that says 8647, and then he claims, well, I just happened to find this, and you want to talk about this guy's mental cognition? Let's compare him to Joe Biden. Are you kidding me? This is just more of the same from, 120 or so days ago. This guy's trying to stay relevant. He's a complete zero, and this latest episode just shows what a complete clown show he is and the FBI is. And now the Secret Service is going to say, well, we're going to investigate. Are you kidding me? The Secret Service is no better now than it was when it had those last 2 directors. These guys can't get out of their own way. The FBI is a complete disgrace still. Kash Patel, Danny Bongino, Sean Curran over the service need to clean house and get it done now. And I hope Pam Bondi and her people go after this guy with everything that he's worth. You're the former director of the FBI, the president of the United States, who, by the way, was rightly elected, is out of the country in the Middle East, no less, talking to one of our greatest threats, the Iranians, the Qataris, and you go and you pull a stunt like this? How juvenile. This is high school, but you know what? This guy needs to be prosecuted. This has got to stop.
Yeah, well, and this is after we still...
And when is it going to stop? MSNBC fantasizing about putting Trump in jail while ignoring Comey's direct threat. The same people who screamed about democracy dying are now openly discussing how to imprison the people's choice for president. Their bloodlust is undeniable.
Jail? So a lot of people have suggested that there are a range of factors that would make it difficult to put a former... the system has not been tested in this way. Do you agree with that it would be difficult or nearly impossible for the law enforcement institutions to put him in actual jail?
No, they would just put him in a double wide somewhere out near the fence, out in the grass. And he would eat there, he'd shower there, he'd exercise there, he'd be away, as Danya Perry said, from general population. Obviously doable.
So a lot of people have suggested that there are...
fantasizing about what it would look like with Trump in prison. The smoking gun, the left's own words calling for violence. Who can ever forget these words?
That I thought I'd be ready to throw a punch. Well, you have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
I feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight. Take him out now.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please
get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to...
This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be? Does one of us have to come out alive? That'd be ready to throw a punch.
And they laugh. Giddy. Meanwhile, the mainstream media uses deceptive editing and out-of-context clips to paint the right as violent. They twist innocent words about elections and defense into Civil War talk, the propaganda machine working overtime to create the false narrative, and we are deconstructing it here.
In MAGA. Now to a burst of violent threats and extremist rhetoric on the right, laced with talk about guns and civil war. It is the kind of language national security officials have warned could have real consequences. It is coming from some of the most prominent figures in MAGA. GOP Congressman Louis Gohmert, an election denier, answering questions about a so-called Second Amendment solution at a right-wing conference just this week.
I was there on the 6th, and thank you for fighting for all of us, man. Was there more we could have done?
Yeah, there's a lot more, but you need a lot more people doing it than just a handful of us.
Keep fighting for us.
They so.
And are we getting towards like Second Amendment solutions at some point? It's going to keep happening, or are we going to fix it? You think we are?
Well, I'm still in it because I think we can.
Can't tell if I'm dizzy from the camera angle or content. Another sitting Republican congressman telling a conservative crowd that he hopes there isn't a civil war before musing about which side would win.
I think we have an opportunity in the next 4 to 6 years to prevent kinetic American forces, countrymen on countrymen, from ever meeting. Although I have no doubt that we'd be victorious if that ever happens. It's time for us to stop being sheep, stand up, and be lions. Let's make these people be... The radical left should be terrified of who we are. The radical left should be terrified of what we are going to do.
These are the messages we are now hearing from MAGA leaders. In the months before the January 6th riot, the FBI was warning that baseless claims about election fraud were, quote, likely to embolden U.S. domestic violent extremists. Again, that was before the insurrection. Now we are seeing talk of a civil war and the celebration of firearms. 2 other GOP lawmakers releasing Christmas cards glorifying guns, and MAGA crowds responding. Kyle Rittenhouse greeted as a hero at a conservative conference. He brought a firearm to a BLM protest and killed 2 people. He was acquitted for murder, and that earns him rock star treatment. At the same conference, a Fox News host talked about how to interview Dr. Fauci on the street and veered quickly into violent imagery.
You got to ambush a guy like Fauci, okay? This is how you do these ambushes. Do you mind, Dr. Fauci, if I ask you a few questions? Now you go in for the kill shot. The kill shot with an ambush, deadly, because he doesn't see it coming. Boom! He is dead! He is dead!
We've seen how talk can spiral into action. So where exactly does the...
Yeah. Talking about ambushing him with questions, not bullets. That's how the left spins it. The left's violent playbook exposed for all to see, and they openly call for violence against Trump while inventing fake right-wing threats. Comey's 8647 post proves what we've said for years. They want Trump eliminated by any means necessary. So what we've uncovered here isn't just about a social media post. It's about a pattern of behavior that goes straight to the heart of the deep state. When a former FBI director thinks he can send coded messages without consequences, tells you everything about the state of our intelligence agencies. The question we need to ask ourselves is this: how many other signals have we missed? What other messages are being sent right out from under our noses? Share your theories in the comments below, and make sure you check out the Next News Network merch shop. It's linked down in the YouTube description for the latest gear. All right, checking in, and we have a new member. Tony has just become a member. Welcome to the family. We've got tens of thousands of people, 24,000 watching on X at the moment. So a big welcome to the Next News Network X live feed. You're watching the Raw feed. I'm Gary Franchi. We're streaming simultaneously across multiple platforms right now: X, YouTube, even LinkedIn, Instagram. Wherever we can push a stream, we will push it. And we are launching our app. It is currently in the process of being built. It is going to be amazing. So look out for that in the very near future. It's going to be exclusive platform for all of our viewers who want to hang out and share stories, connect with each other. Never notification. I mean, how many notifications have you missed? Right? Hey, I'm watching the feed. I didn't even get a notification. Yeah. Well, that's all about to change. All right? So we got a whole bunch of stuff coming down the pipeline. Very exciting things happening. But we do have to get into this very bizarre story that stumbled across my desk just a few days ago. I had a phone call with a high-level GOP operative. And, well, let's just say he was at a program at Harvard, and he was introduced to some very powerful people in this program. And the story I'm about to share with you is only one of the stories that he shared with some of the people in that room. And this next story is going to absolutely blow your mind. Now, Patriots, what I'm about to reveal will shake you to your core. A high-level insider just walked out of one of the most prestigious Harvard programs on earth. What they witnessed behind those lecture hall doors that's occurring in China belongs in science fiction, but it is real. Now, just imagine what our intelligence agencies would say if they knew what we are about to show you. Now, the mainstream media won't touch this story. The global elite want it buried, but tonight we're going to show you exactly what they are developing in those hidden Chinese facilities and why it should terrify every single American. And while we investigate these disturbing developments from China's labs, staying healthy isn't just a choice, it's a necessity. Almost half of adults in the United States have high blood pressure, and many don't even know it. This triple action formula helps support blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar using ingredients like white mulberry leaf and cinnamon bark powder. It's all natural, doctor-reviewed, and trusted by thousands plus. It helps reverse insulin resistance and weight management. You'll feel the difference. Backed by a 60-day guarantee, ships fast, and is currently up to 40% off. Go to boostwithgary.com to order today. That's boostwithgary.com. It is linked below our YouTube video. All right, so this is crazy. I had a phone call. A friend of mine went to a Harvard program and learned some very startling things. This is only one thread of information that he shared with me. And I'm going to be revisiting this conversation. This is only the beginning. Yes, China is now racing to grow superhumans in artificial wombs. You heard that correctly. A whistleblower fresh from a classified Harvard program says Beijing is fast-tracking mass artificial womb births to engineer superhuman elites. Scale and speed dwarf the media claims, posing vast risks. That's right. So let's dig deeper into this now. We have a report directly from the White House. Before we go further, let's go to Tom McCullagh to hear what we've uncovered, exposing China's plan to mass-produce genetically modified superhumans in artificial wombs.
Information. Hey guys, I'm Tom McCullagh at the White House, reporting for the Next News Network, bringing you the stories the legacy media refuses to touch. And what I'm about to tell you is not a rumor. It's not speculation. It's not pulled from the corners of the internet. This is exclusive information directly from a high-level GOP insider who just walked out of one of the most secretive and elite policy programs in the country. A closed-door Harvard session attended by a former CIA official, sitting ambassadors, scientists from Yale and Stanford, And yes, even Obama and Biden administrative appointees. And what he told us on the phone, it's beyond shocking. It's horrifying. So according to our source, China is now using artificial wombs to grow full-term babies in just 2 months. 2 months. But it's not just the speed, it's what they're growing. Genetically engineered humans programmed before birth to be stronger, faster, and smarter than anything the natural world could ever produce. So imagine children's preloaded to speak 5 languages and outfit like NFL athletes. Imagine armies of them, because that's what this is, an army. China isn't just tampering with biology. They're building a biological force, one they plan to unleash on the world. Our sources told us that these programs are backed by China's military and biotech sectors and supported by artificial intelligence systems so advanced, even the CIA officials at Harvard program called them a moral nightmare. One top-level intel officer reportedly said this, and I quote, "I don't believe in God, but what I saw in that room was playing God. And if we don't do it, China will win. But if we do it, we might destroy ourselves." So that's the choice we're being forced to make, moral suicide or national suicide. And let that sink in. Now, here's where it gets even more dangerous. China is reportedly using artificial wombs monitored by AI systems, what they call nanny programs, to grow embryos without any human involvement. No mother, no father, just tubes and control panels. Our insiders said they've already been experimenting on animals, even primates, and that human trials, they may already be underway. And while the rest of the world, America included, is still fighting over pronouns and electric cars, China is quietly engineering a generation of superhumans. They're editing DNA to increase intelligence, to boost strength, to eliminate emotion, and they're doing it faster than any regulatory body can do. So, I don't say this lightly, but this is a national security threat of the highest order. Let me say that again. China's artificial womb and genetic modification program is a clear and present danger to the future of civilization. If Donald Trump does not step in, and soon, we could lose the greatest asset we've ever had, our humanity. This is no longer about politics. This is about survival. Do you want to live in a world where nations compete, not with ideas or innovations, but with genetically engineered populations manufactured for dominance? Because that's where we're heading. You did not hear this on Fox. You didn't read it in the Washington Post. You heard it here from someone who was in the room, who heard the plans, saw the charts, and told us everything. We're giving you the exclusive access to what's really happening inside the global biotech race. This is stuff you're not going to see anywhere else. And let me be crystal clear. This isn't science fiction anymore. It might sound like science fiction. This is science fact. And unless we stop it, China will rewrite the future and they won't even need to fire a shot. So, this is your warning. The clock is ticking. And if Donald Trump, and if you're watching, you need to shut this down before it shuts us down and the rest of the world down. And guys, I'm outside the White House. I'm reporting with the Next News Network. God bless. Hey guys.
Okay, let's dig deeper now into that nanny system. Chinese scientists have developed an AI nanny to monitor embryos grown in artificial wombs, regulating temperature and growth milestones without human intervention. It's not sci-fi. It's now China's already scaling deployment. The artificial womb has been created. Genetic engineering milestone. In 2018, China's He Jiankui shocked the world by announcing the birth of gene-edited babies. His use of CRISPR to make children immune to HIV crossed every single ethical line and signaled China's willingness to weaponize genetic science. State-linked research. Now there's global ethical concerns. China's gene editing ambitions triggered fierce global condemnation. Scientists warned of a Pandora's box, designer babies, eugenics, irreversible consequences, but Beijing pressed forward undeterred by international outrage or ethical warnings. Artificial womb capabilities. China's artificial wombs may soon carry embryos to term entirely outside of the human body. Combined with AI, these systems could industrialize human reproduction, selectively engineered, mass monitored, and state regulated. Getting some serious Matrix vibes on this one. Rapid development timeline. Insiders suggest China's target is a full-grown, viable infant in under 60 days. Now, God made the plan perfect. 9 months gestation. Now man is intervening. Chinese scientists intervening with God's perfect plan to fast track the growth of the human embryo in 60 days. Think about that. There's a reason that God wants us to gestate for 9 months. There's a reason. 2-month gestation may sound insane, but rapid stem cell cycling, nanotech nutrient systems, and AI monitoring make it plausible within the next few years. Enhanced cognitive abilities. Chinese researchers claim they're editing genes to enhance brain development. Some trials target linguistic capacity, imagining children fluent in 5 languages by the age of 3. The dream, a generation of hyper-intelligent super citizens. Physical augmentation. Sources say embryos are being edited for increased bone density, muscle growth, and metabolic efficiency. The goal to create future Olympic-tier soldiers and athletes, each one genetically sculpted in a lab before birth. Superhuman development. CRISPR technology utilization. CRISPR is China's scalpel. With precision edits to embryonic DNA, they can delete disease or add enhancements. The line between medicine and militarized engineering, well, China isn't crossing it, they are erasing it. Genetic engineering is happening in China. Now, research on animal models. China has grown full mammal embryos in artificial wombs, dogs, even primates, using nutrient-rich fluids and robotic support systems. Human trials are not confirmed officially, but that line may have already been crossed. Yep, they are just giddy. This disgusting science. International regulations. Beijing has little regard for global biotech treaties. One researcher put it bluntly, China doesn't follow rules, they write them. As other nations argue ethics, China builds, and their defiance fuels a genetic arms race. Terrifying. Laws are not our chains. We write rules with iron pens. The world bends, and we ascend. Now, the global implications, because the tech won't stay in labs. If normalized, it will redefine birth, parenthood, and national power. Nations with gene-edited populations will dominate. Those who hesitate may become second-tier societies in the emerging biohierarchy towards the superhuman. Potential for inequality. Genetic enhancement will be expensive. Rich elites may become genetically superior while the poor fall further behind. The gap between the modified and the natural could birth a caste system more rigid than anything in human history. Psychological considerations. So what happens to children grown in labs? Pre-edited for perfection. Experts warn of identity crisis, depression, and social pressure. When you're born to be a genius, who are you when you fail? Or when your DNA was someone else's choice? Think about that. The long-term health risks. CRISPR is not flawless. Off-target mutations, long-term organ instability, immune complications are all risks. Artificial womb children could suffer hidden defects years later, making them guinea pigs for a permanent generational experiment. The long-term risks. We do have no idea when you mess with God's perfection. Scientific community's response. Some scientists urge caution. Others cheer innovation, but there's no consensus. Even top U.S. researchers admit China is moving too fast to catch up with, leaving committees stuck, debating while China rewrites the species. Need for global dialogue. Without a global treaty on artificial reproduction and gene editing, we are heading into chaos. Nations need to unite fast to set real lines, red lines, because once one country succeeds, others will be forced to follow or fall behind. Public awareness and education. Most people have no clue that this is even happening. Governments and media avoid it. Schools don't teach it. If the public doesn't wake up, they'll find themselves living under genetic regimes they never consented to or even saw coming. The call to action. This is not theoretical. It's unfolding right now. Public scientists and lawmakers must demand transparency and oversight. Human dignity, liberty, and the definition of life itself are on the line. Silence is consent, and delay is surrender. So stay informed. Follow the Next News Network on X for exclusive breakdowns on China's bioengineering agenda, genetic warfare, and the technologies reshaping humanity. We're tracking what legacy media won't touch. So get informed and get loud. Stay informed and follow us for more. So the revelations that you have just witnessed about China's artificial womb program aren't just disturbing, they're a wake-up call to every American. While we're debating pronouns, they're engineering the future. But here's what we need to ask ourselves. Could this technology be more advanced than anyone suspects? Is this just the beginning of something that will change warfare forever? What's the true aim of the program? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure, if you want to support our work, you go to the Next News merch shop and grab some latest gear. Yeah, how insane is that? So, let's see. All right, I just got a message from our camera operator who is he's getting the gear ready, heading to the White House right now. Okay, because President Trump, he is set to land at the White House at 10:40 Eastern Time. So we're going to have that footage as soon as it comes out. We'll bring it to you. I'm sure he's going to be totally exhausted, but finally returning home to the White House on American soil. It's going to be an exciting homecoming president when he returns. It's going to be a late night Marine One hit. It's going to be exciting just to watch it, even if he walks past the cameras. He'll probably take his tie off and just walk right up the South Lawn. It's going to be really cool. So keep an eye out on our channel and our X feed for that hit to drop as soon as it does. And I'm just sending a message to our team. They've got explicit instructions. So we're going to keep on moving forward and await that footage when it drops. Okay, let's keep going right along here. We got that big, beautiful bill. Remember the big, beautiful bill? The big, beautiful bill. Donald Trump's been talking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Well, a grand betrayal has just occurred. Patriots, 5 rhinos just committed the ultimate betrayal in Washington. But before we name them, you need to understand exactly what they killed. We've got representatives breaking down President Trump's game-changing economic package, everything from eliminating tax on overtime for our police officers to strengthening Medicaid for real Americans, not the illegals. And the numbers in the bill are staggering. The impact on working families revolutionary. And once you see what was in this legislation, you'll understand why the deep state was so desperate to stop it. And when rhinos betray America, it's not just our nation that weakens, it's our strength as men. Most men think that their testosterone drops due to age or genetics, but the real cause? One food you're likely eating every single day, something marketed as healthy. It's destroying your testosterone, draining your energy, and killing your drive. Behind Test Boost Max has identified this food and built a powerful video to expose it. They've helped thousands of guys regain strength, burn fat, and rebuild energy naturally. No prescriptions, no BS, just science. And to find out what the food is, simply go to sculptnation.com/NNN. Again, that's sculptnation.com/NNN. You'll find it linked right below our YouTube video. All right, let's get into our topic here, the deep state sabotage alert. And we have Tom McCullagh. He's at the White House breaking it all down for us. The sabotage, 4 backstabbing rhinos just killed Trump's big, beautiful bill. 16-21 vote, no tax on tips and overtime destroyed by traitors. Norman, Clyde, Smucker, and Bretchen. Norman, Clyde, Smucker, and Bretchen. They claimed it was about debt, while working Americans suffer. The swamp protects their own.
Clip about why this. Hey Hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh reporting from the White House with the Next News Network. And guys, President Trump is fighting tooth and nail for us, but today his big, beautiful bill to slash taxes for hardworking Americans got stabbed in the back by our own side. It failed in the House Budget Committee 16-21, and it's a disgrace. 4 Republicans voted against it, and we're going to name them. So Trump's vision to lift up the forgotten worker just got crushed by weak-kneed Republicans who cared more about their calculators than their constituents. So let's name these guys. Representatives Norman, Clyde, Smucker, and Breachin. These 4 turned on Trump, joining Democrats to block a bill that would have changed all of our lives. They're whining about the $36 trillion debt, but where was their backbone when they're the ones that let the spending us into oblivion? This was Trump's moment to deliver, and these so-called conservatives sold him out. Here's a clip capturing the raw reaction to this shameful failure in committee. Let's go ahead and check it out.
So we have some breaking news. The Budget Committee on the Hill in the House failed to report the big, beautiful bill out favorably. The vote was 16-21. No's being the 21. The individuals who voted no on the big, beautiful bill and reporting it out of the committee were Congressman Chip Roy. We expected that. Norman, Clyde, Brasheen, and Smucker. One of the big holdups here was Medicaid and the fact that Medicaid, the cuts don't kick in until later down the road. That's been a sticking point for Chip Roy. I just got off the phone with Chad Pergram, who noted that Smucker was a yes vote, switched his vote to no as a tactic in order to allow a revote on this. All in the weeds, a little bit of nuance there. This is the first step to get this bill onto the floor of the House of Representatives. We will wait as a new markup could come as early as next Monday.
Now let's talk about what this bill stood for. It was a lifeline for everyday Americans. No taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, taxes on car loan interest. This was Trump's promise to put money back in your pocket. Whether you're a server, a mechanic, a single mom, everybody would have won. Let's go ahead and check out this clip about why this would have been a game changer for everybody, all of us, everybody watching.
You know, I hear the other side saying that these are tax cuts for the billionaires and the rich. Well, if you go to pages around 759, you got no tax on tips. You know how many people we have in our districts that work hard every weekend? It's maybe a part-time job. They may make $200 a weekend. They don't have to pay taxes on that. That's going to be a huge boost to their family budget. No tax on overtime. Again, we're giving credit to those people who are willing to go out and work the extra hours to make ends meet. No tax on overtime is a tax for the working person in this country. No tax on a car loan interest. I mean, there's a lot of tax cuts for everyday Americans, and the other side just wants to keep talking like it's only for billionaires. I'll guarantee you there's a lot more voters who are everyday Americans than there are billionaires.
But the impact goes deeper. Take enforcement, our heroes in blue. The no tax and overtime piece would have given cops a raise without costing the cities or states a penny. That's the kind of brilliant leadership Trump brings. Let's go ahead and talk about how this bill could have transformed policing for the better. Check out the clip.
Police officers have to work overtime almost every single shift. Most police departments, especially if you work in a night shift, you're working in a high crime area, it's more than likely you're going to have to work overtime. More than likely you're going to have to stay after your shift. But here's an opportunity for police officers to actually get a pay raise. You're going to add more money into law enforcement officers' pocket by not having them pay taxes on that money. And you're not adding any extra debt to the city budget. It's brilliant. And what does that do? It gives the police officers that work every single day, putting their lives on the line, great morale. And it also helps with retention on the police department. So therefore, people coming in and entry level can make a reasonable living. And what does that mean? More qualified police officers are going to want to join the police department on every level. Officers are going to want to promote every single step of the way and have a reasonable, adequate amount of pay for the acts that they're doing, for the sacrifice that they're making. And I tell you what, you can't find a police officer in America that's not ecstatic about this. I think Donald Trump and the Republicans have done a tremendous job in trying their best and doing all that they can, and they've been very successful at it, is helping the American people. This is not giving money to the wealthy. This is literally helping the everyday working class people, helping first responders, and I freaking love it.
So let's be clear. This is is the only one standing up for us. He warned the GOP to get on board or get lost, but these 4 Republicans chose betrayal. Speaker Johnson's talking a big game about moving forward, but this failure is on the party's hands and his hands. And Trump won't quit, and neither should he. We've got to rally behind our president and demand these GOP people stop playing games with our future. You guys, that's all now. That's all for now. This is Tom McCullagh reporting from the White House. It's like 100 degrees out here. I had to take my jacket off. So it's been a long day. It's been a storm too. So God bless. Hey guys,
thank you for that report, Tom. Let's dig deeper because the deep state is panicking. As Trump's one big beautiful bill moves forward, the globalist banking cabal is working overtime to block the America First agenda. This is the final battle for our economic freedom. Let's dive deeper. Representative Buddy Carter fighting to preserve Medicaid for real Americans. The one big beautiful bill will strengthen and sustain these critical programs for generations. Meanwhile, the left wants to bankrupt the system with illegal aliens and welfare for votes.
So that this bill will also preserve and protect, strengthen, stabilize, sustain critical programs such as Medicaid from waste, fraud, and abuse so that they work for the Americans who most need it for generations to come. That's right. What we have done in the Energy and Commerce Committee, our part of this, we are stabilizing, we are securing, we are sustaining the program that is intended for the most vulnerable in our society. Instead of prioritizing illegal immigrants or ineligible recipients, we encourage states to use Medicaid funds in support of the most vulnerable Americans. That's what Medicaid was intended for. This bill will also preserve.
Representative Ron Estes warning of the massive tax increases coming if we don't act now. The one big beautiful bill is critical to protecting everyday Americans from deep state tax apocalypse that they've been planning. This is how we save the middle class from extinction.
Fraud and abuse spend. Mr. Chairman, this bill, particularly the pro-family, pro-worker, pro-growth provisions, is critical to preventing a mass tax increase for everyday Americans to give our economy a boost, secure our border, and bend the curve on decades of Washington waste, fraud, and abuse spending. I urge my colleagues to support this one big, beautiful bill, and I yield back. Mr. Chairman, this...
Representative Edwards defending our troops and our borders. The bill gives our military the raise they deserve while securing the border that the globalists left wide open. No tax on tips and overtime plus child tax credits for American families under attack.
By extending. Importantly, this package also invests in what truly matters. It gives our troops a raise, it strengthens our national defense, and it secures our border. It reignites economic growth by extending the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, unleashing American energy and rewarding education that delivers value. This bill delivers on the promises made to working Americans by eliminating tax on tips and overtime, raising the standard deduction, raising the child credits, and offering no tax on car loans. And it respects our aging population with tax breaks to senior citizens who've been productive working members of our society all their life. Importantly,
okay, Representative Arrington confirms what we've been saying for months. This is the principal vehicle for advancing the full America First agenda. Everything we fought for, everything we voted for is in this bill. The establishment's terrified of its success.
Agenda. Folks, I've said this from the beginning. This reconciliation bill is the principal legislative vehicle for advancing the full America First agenda. To realize President Trump's vision and the House Republicans' unwavering commitment to making America safe and prosperous again. How? By making our borders secure again, by making our laws enforced again, by making our government efficient and accountable again, by making the economy free again, by making American energy dominant again, by making work and the dignity of work and reliance in American value again, and by making the spending of the sacred treasure of our citizens responsible again. Today, we stand on the precipice of a generational opportunity to make an unprecedented investment in the safety and security of the American people by equipping our Border Patrol agents and our sons and daughters in the armed services with the tools and resources to safely and successfully do the first and most important job of the federal government to provide for the common defense. But we also have an urgent responsibility to put in place the policies that will unleash economic growth and future prosperity, reining in wasteful spending, and to begin restoring the fiscal health of our nation, which has been in rapid decline over the last couple of decades.
Representative Smucker announces a once-in-a-generation tax relief for hardworking families. The One Big Beautiful Bill delivers conservative wins across the board, and it's a direct transfer of power from the bloated government back to the people.
And this One Big Beautiful Bill delivers conservative wins all across the board, and it provides once-in-a-generation tax relief to hardworking families who need it most. And just remember this, when Democrats, if they make good on their word to vote against this bill, they will be voting for a 22% tax hike on average Americans, on every taxpayer. They'll be voting for a reduction in the child tax credit. They'll be voting against an additional $4,000 in tax relief to seniors. They'll be voting for a tax increase on every small business in America. This bill supports Main Street businesses by cutting job-killing regulations, reversing Biden-era overreach, and empowering entrepreneurs to invest, to innovate, and to create jobs here in America. It protects vital safety net programs while demanding accountability, ensuring that taxpayer dollars are used efficiently and responsibly. This bill is a clear fulfillment of our promise to change the way Washington operates. For the first time in years, we're delivering real, measurable reduction in federal spending, $1.5 trillion in direct savings. Those cuts aren't just symbolic. They're the first step in restoring fiscal discipline and changing the trajectory of our nation's debt crisis. And
So the One Big Beautiful Bill is the final line of defense against the globalist takeover of our economy. This is about saving America from the intentional destruction of the past 4 years. Patriots need to unite behind Trump's vision while the state trembles. So what we saw today in that committee meeting was more than just a vote. It was a deliberate sabotage of America's economic future. 5 so-called Republicans killed a bill that would have given our police officers tax-free overtime, strengthened health care for real Americans, put America first. But here's what we need to ask ourselves. Why would anyone claiming to be Republican vote against a tax relief for our police? Against strengthening health care for real Americans? Against economic freedom? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Who are they working for? Make sure you check out the Next News Network merch shop. It's linked down below. Grab some gear and support our work. Who would vote against such a thing? I have no idea. It's just disgraceful. Okay. A villain dropping $10 in the super chat. Thank you. Left our evil. Support 47, support the Republic, and support Gary Franchi, the Next News Network. Catch up with y'all after the show. He's talking about the Discord. I'm getting a message here from my camera operator, and this is very strange because the press guidance that arrived this morning, actually that we got late last night, the daily guidance for Friday, May 16th, clearly stated that he would be at Andrews by 10:20, 30 en route to the White House, 10:40 Eastern on the South Lawn. And now I'm getting an email. This just in. Wheels at 9:08. Wheels down at 9:08. Air Force One wheels down at 9:08. But we had it originally wheels down, like I just said, wheels down Yeah, he's a full hour ahead of. That's strange. He's always behind. I've never seen him early, so he's like an hour and 10 minutes early. During that clip, I got on the phone with our camera guy Miles, and he said he's heading to the White House. He could hear Marine One coming in. So if he's not at those doors by the time before they open up, he's not getting in. So I think we're going to miss that historic return. Pool has gathered at the South Lawn awaiting President Trump's arrival. That was 9:14. So the pool is already at the South Lawn at 9:14 Eastern. That was about 15 minutes ago. Boy. Okay. President Trump disembarked Air Force One at 9:19 p.m. He's tieless. I knew it. I knew he wouldn't be wearing his tie, but still in his blue suit. He pumped his fist at the press and mouthed what appeared to be thank you. He boarded Marine One at 9:20. Walt Nauta walked off F1 a minute later and headed towards Marine One. Other aides followed, including Margot Martin, Taylor Budowich. Marine One was wheels up at 9:27. Okay, so that was just a few minutes ago. So 9:27, Marine One was wheels up. Maybe we can still get it. I told him to go. Marine One was wheels up at 9:27 en route to the White House. So you might still be able to get it. Fingers crossed. So we are waiting. Oh, I hope he can get it, man. I really want to get that shot. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll find it. Okay, let's get back into this next report here. This is the week in review. Everything that's gone on. It's been an amazing week. We got Tom's report, and we have a couple clips of Trump speaking with Brett Baier. So let's jump right into this. Patriots, what a week it has been. As we wrap up this historic week 16 of Trump's return to the White House, even our enemies can't deny what's happening. From the Middle East to Main Street, America is witnessing a transformation that the mainstream media said was impossible. Our White House correspondent, Tom McCullagh, has been on the ground all week, and tonight he's joining us with revelations that will leave you stunned. The victories, the betrayals, and the battles ahead. It's all coming together in a way that explains everything. And as we witness these historic victories in week 16, staying pain-free isn't just about comfort, it's about being ready for what's next. Don't grab another painkiller. Dr. Josh, a pain specialist from Connecticut, discovered a turmeric extract that's 200 times stronger than anything on store shelves. It turns off pain like a light switch right at the source. It's helped hundreds of thousands of Americans break free from joint ache, stiffness, and inflammation without surgery or drugs. This turmeric hack is safe, powerful, and it's life-changing. You want to see how it works? Visit goldenrevive.com/NNN and watch the free video. All right, let's check in with Thomas McCullagh with his report at the White House. The victory report, Trump securing $600 billion. And I think we do have a White House shot real quick before I go further. I think we can get the shot from White House. You can see there, you can see it. See the formation. There is President Trump on arrival. Two helicopters in the front and that light in the center to the left. I guess to the right. I believe that is Air Force. No, that should be Marine One coming in right there. It's getting closer. Hopefully the camera won't pan. We can get this shot. Yeah, it's definitely, he's landing right now. I can see it. There's President Trump coming in, Marine One. Right now, you're seeing it live. So we may have not had the actual close-up camera. Maybe Miles is there. I'm not sure. He was supposed to head over, but President Trump is an hour early tonight. And he is, there it is, It's quite a sight to see. You can see that bright light towards the horizon line getting closer and closer. And there it is, President Trump. Yeah, there it is. I think, yeah, it's getting closer. Okay, was that President Trump? No, maybe was that a plane on approach to Reagan? I don't think so. I don't know. Let's keep watching, because maybe that's President Trump right there. That big light that's coming in close. That could be. I've seen this right there on the other side of the White House there on the South Lawn. Okay, I'm getting updates now from the ground. Let's see, press crew here walking out. Everyone was surprised that he arrived so early. My thinking was 9:30 was plenty early, but apparently not. They told me he's already on the ground. Okay, so if he's already on the ground, then clearly that is not Marine One coming in. So we may have just missed that shot. Yeah, he's here. Marine One is on the ground, and it is all quiet at the White House. Okay. We were really looking forward to getting the shots for you tonight of President Trump's grand homecoming after this momentous week. And, well, there will be more opportunities. But you can see how those lights can certainly play tricks on you. See, I've been there at the White House when this happens, and you see there's two choppers that usually fly ahead of Marine One as escort, and then Marine One comes in. So apparently not in this shot, but still a beautiful visual of the White House on this Friday evening. He disembarked about 3 minutes ago. That's the report I'm getting right now. So, yeah, we'll see if we can track down that pool. Todd, maybe if you could see and find that pool video, that would be great. And we can get the close shots that we need to share with everybody. Okay, moving right along back into it, the victory report, Trump securing $600 billion Saudi deal while purging FBI headquarters, activist judges attacking birthright order as corrupt officials assault ICE agents, Patel crushing the deep state while stopping a big terror plot. Middle East bends the knee to Trump's America First. Let's go to Tom McCullagh earlier today at the White House.
Tom McCullagh reporting from the White House with the Next News Network. And guys, what a week. President Trump's back in the driver's seat, making America great again, and while the left scrambles to keep up. So, from blockbuster deals in the Middle East to chaos in Washington, we've got the stories the mainstream media won't touch. Let's go ahead and dive into it. First, President Trump's Middle East tour was a master class in leadership.
We're extremely honored to have you here. We're very excited, very happy. It's a historic visit.
Emirates Global Aluminum. Yes, pleasure. Very good. You do a good job with the aluminum. This is a very special project.
He jetted to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, securing a jaw-dropping $600 billion investment from the Saudis alone.
With this historic state visit, we celebrate more than 80 years of close partnership between the United States and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In addition to purchases of $142 billion of American-made military equipment, we are great Saudi partners, the largest ever. This week, there are multi-billion-dollar commercial deals with Amazon, Oracle, AMD. They're all here. Uber, Qualcomm, Johnson & Johnson, and many, many more.
That's money flowing into American jobs, infrastructure, and energy. He's inked defense deals, boosting our military with cutting-edge weapon systems and locked-in trade agreements that put American workers first. The internet lit up, praising Trump's bold move, like lifting sanctions on Syria and pushing peace in Gaza.
Likewise, in Syria, which has seen so much misery and death, there is a new government that will hopefully succeed in stabilizing the country and keeping peace. That's what we want to see in Syria. They've had their share of travesty, war, killing, many years. That's why my administration has already taken the first steps toward restoring normal relations between the United States and Syria. As I've shown repeatedly, I am willing to end past conflicts and forge new partnerships for a better and more stable world, even if our differences may be very profound, which obviously they are in the case of Iran. I have never believed in having permanent enemies. I am different than a lot of people think.
He's rebuilding alliances, sidelining critics like Netanyahu, and showing the world America's back. The neocons, they're panicking. And that's music to our ears. We love seeing neocons and globalists scramble. But back in Washington, the swamp is fighting back. The so-called Big Beautiful Bill, a massive tax and defense package, crashed and burned in Congress. Republicans wanted $27 billion for a missile defense shield, but rhinos and Democrats tanked it. Trump's furious, and rightly so. This is about keeping America safe, not playing politics. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court's grappling with Trump's birthright citizenships order. Federal judge in 3 states blocked it, calling it unconstitutional. But the court's set to hear it in May. Legal experts say the 14th Amendment's clear, but Trump's fighting for common sense. Citizenship shouldn't be a freebie for anyone born on U.S. soil.
The 14th Amendment says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people. But we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it. You know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need to, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
So now let's talk insanity in New Jersey. And this was a nutso thing. Elected officials there are literally assaulting federal agents, and you heard that right.
Congresswoman LaMonica McIver and Congressman Rob Menendez. We're here conducting an oversight visit, which we had the power to do as congressional members.
In Newark, lawmakers interfere with ICE operations, echoing the case of the Wisconsin judge Hannah Dugan, who's indicted for helping an illegal immigrant dodge arrest.
Just so everyone remembers what happened, she was actually allegedly escorting illegals out her own courtroom back door to try to, avoid taking custody of them.
Dugan misdirected ICE agents, letting the guy slip out a side door. FBI Director Kash Patel, a Trump loyalist, called her out, saying no one's above the law. Posts on the internet suggest Newark's mess could lead to more indictments. This is what happens when the left coddles criminals and spits on our border security. So speaking of Patel, he's shaking things up at the FBI. This week, he announced the Bureau's leaving its crumbling D.C. headquarters, the J. Edgar Hoover building. It's unsafe, and Patel moving 1,500 agents to field offices across the country. He told Fox Business about getting agents closer to the action, not bureaucrats in Washington.
Kash Patel announcing earlier today that, the Bureau is leaving its longtime headquarters right here in the nation's capital, transferring some 1,500 employees to locations around the country.
But FBI insiders are whining. Of course they are. They say Patel's too casual, even carrying a field agent badge he didn't earn. Cry me a river, guys. This is Patel's house, rooting out the deep state and making the FBI work for America again. No more he was on our radar BS. So let's zoom out again. Trump's also juggling other fights. The Supreme Court ruled he must back a wrongly deported man from El Salvador, a rare unanimous decision. Trump respects the court and says he'll comply, but it's a reminder the judiciary's still a battleground. And get this, Patel's not just running the FBI, he was briefly acting ATF director, but Trump swapped him out for Army Secretary Dan Driscoll. And why is that? Laser focused on the FBI, and Driscoll's a solid pick to handle guns and explosives. Smart move. So now let's talk crime. Patel's FBI disrupted an ISIS plot targeting a military base.
The news of the alleged terror plot has left a Melvindale neighborhood on edge. Our team coverage continues.
Federal officials say the plan was a year in the making. Cameras were rolling as the FBI and state police raided his home in Melvindale. The suspect was arrested and is now locked up. He is facing 40 years in prison
Federal prosecutors say Saeed informed 2 undercover law enforcement officers under the guise of ISIS supporters of his drawn-out plan, which included flying drones over the base, making Molotov cocktails, and live streaming the assault.
The suspect linked to a mass shooting scheme was caught bragging about ammo to an undercover agent. Patel issued a fiery warning: mess with our troops and you're done. This is the kind of leadership we need: tough, no nonsense, and apologetic. So, contrast that with the left's chaos. On United Healthcare's DOJ probe for Medicare fraud, losing $288 billion in market value. Yeah, this is what happens when you game the system under Democrats.
These new reports of a criminal shares of UNH at the bottom of the Dow and the S&P this morning. Bertha Coombs has more on what we know, Bertha, and importantly, what we are still trying to find out.
That's right, Carl. United Health shares now at a 5-year low after a Wall Street Journal report that the company is under criminal probe by the DOJ.
So, folks, here's the big picture. Trump's out here making deals, securing our future, and fighting for America first. But the swamp, whether it's Congress, activist judges, or rogue officials, keep trying to drag him down. The good news, he's got patriots like Kash Patel in his corner and all of us and millions of other Americans cheering him on. The left wants open borders, weak defense, and bloated bureaucracy. Trump wants strength, security, and prosperity. As I stand here at the White House, I'm reminded this is our republic and Trump is fighting for it, and so are we. And the media, they won't tell you that. They're too busy spinning lies, but we see through it. And guys, that's all for this week for me here at the White House. This is Tom McCullagh with the Next News Network. God bless, stay strong, stay vigilant. We'll see you.
Thank you for that report, Tom. I'm working on getting that Marine One video right now. I think we can bring it in. We actually have it. Let's go to this clip. Brian, do we have a full screen shot of this? Clean? If we can, I'd like to get to that. I'm going to bring a screen share in. So let's see, share screen. Whose screen is that? No, I'm going to go with this. I appreciate that. A little choppy over here. Let me see. Select the tab you want. Actually, can you bring it in on the shot that I have for the White House? And I can just press that button. The shot that I usually use for the White House. Yeah, just change the URL to. We can get that shot in, because the pool reports come in, the pool video comes in, actually it's delayed. So let's see if we can bring that on your screen cap, Brian. You know the one I'm talking about? It would be this one. Just change the URL to the link I gave you. Where is it, Todd? See, Brian has a different capture system. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, there it is, Brian. Okay. So here's President Trump. Okay, do we have audio on this, Ryan? Is there audio on this track? I can't hear it, but I see the bars. Brian, I can't hear you. Can you confirm? Okay, so it appears is what we're seeing here is a loop of Marine One as it was departing Joint Base Andrews. So we don't have I mean, that's cool, right? I really wanted to see him coming into the White House, but we'll have to wait and see if we can get that footage a little bit later and then get it uploaded for all of you here. Okay, so Brian, I'm gonna do the topic closer. I think if you can stitch this together and post for this topic, I was hoping we can get this. Maybe you'll find a clean point out or not. I'm not sure, but hopefully you can. Doing our best here, get all this stuff organized. A lot happening at the same moment. So Brian, let's record the closer. You can stitch that, and then we'll continue. From $10 deals in the Middle East to the fight for economic freedom here at home, Week 16 has shown us exactly why they're terrified of Trump's America First agenda. But here's what we need to ask ourselves. If this much can happen in just 1 week, what's coming next? What other victories are on the horizon? And most importantly, how do we keep this momentum going? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure you check out the Next News Network merch shop for the latest gear. All right. So that was your week in review, courtesy of Thomas McCullagh at the White House. Give Tom a round of applause. Quite a job he did there today at the White House, all week, really. Reporting in the rain this week. Remember that? How cool. Yeah, nothing stops the Next News Network when we have a mission, and you guys are part of that mission. Clearly you are. And looking at the numbers right now, 38,910. I'm going to take a picture of that because those are historic figures I don't think we've ever seen on this channel before. Exciting. 38,592. Amazing. All right, folks, it's Friday night. You know what that means? It means I'm not done working. I got more thumbnails to create with grand old memes. He's standing by waiting for us to get all the final cuts up from the show. We're going to keep monitoring that Marine One drop as soon as it lands in the pool feed. So we'll bring that out to you. Keep an eye out for that separate video to drop. But what a show it's been. What a week it's been. Let me lay it out for you because it all connects. Now, President Trump, he orchestrated what might be the biggest Middle East deal in history. We're over $1 trillion flowing back into American jobs, American energy, and American prosperity. The details we brought you tonight are what the mainstream media won't touch. Then we expose former FBI Director Comey's cryptic 8646 message, a post he tried to delete, tried to explain away as some innocent beach photo. Right. Because former FBI directors regularly post coded messages about 47th president and then frantically delete them. The timing here isn't coincidental. And how about that bombshell about China's artificial womb program? The revelations about their hidden facilities, their technological capabilities, it's like something out of science fiction, except it's real. And it is happening right now, while our own politicians are busy debating pronouns. Speaking of politicians, those 5 rhinos who killed Trump's economic package in committee today, we showed you exactly what was in that bill, what it would have done for our police officers, our healthcare, and our economy. The American people won't forget this betrayal. But here is the thing. Week 16 of Trump's return to the White House, it proves one thing above all else. America is rising again. Despite everything they throw at us, despite the deep state, the rhinos, despite China's plans. So I want to thank all of our incredible supporters tonight. You are the patriots that keep us going. And speaking of support, the show exists because of you. The mainstream media will not touch these stories. Big tech wants us silenced, but with your help, we will keep growing. We'll keep exposing the truth. So check out the links below to donate and help keep real news alive. We are about to hit 40,000 viewers. We are just shy of 40,000 viewers on this stream right now. Absolutely amazing. So big shout out to Tom for his outstanding work from Washington, D.C. this week. Well done, sir. And I can't wait to go back myself. It's going to be exciting. It always is. Beautiful moment when you're there at the White House. And speaking of the White House, there it is in all of its glory in the evening in the swamp. So, Patriots, we have more bombshells coming Monday. Who knows what's going to happen over the weekend? Oh, I forgot to tell you. I should have brought this up earlier. We have a reporter on the ground in Rome. Yes, he flew out this morning. He is going to be covering the Pope's inauguration. He's going to be getting man-on-the-street reaction to Trump's historic reelection. The first American Pope ever. So we do have, I can't believe I totally forgot that. But yeah, so this whole weekend, look forward to hits from Matt Bailey, our correspondent at large. He will be in Rome this weekend. It's going to be exciting. We're going to maybe we'll try to go live with him. Brian, cross your fingers. Maybe we can get him here. We'll bring him in through our streaming system and go live. That'll be exciting, or not. We'll just post the hits on X and YouTube. So, yes, we have bombshells coming Monday, but we've also got bombshells coming Saturday and Sunday, and more exclusive reports and more truth they don't want you to hear. So follow us on Rumble, on X, follow us on LinkedIn. Yeah, you can watch us on LinkedIn and Instagram, because you never know when YouTube might just try to shut us down again. And check out the merch shop, link in the description. Remember, they can try to silence us, they can try to stop us, but they'll never break our spirit. This is Gary Franchi. You are watching the Raw Feed. Good night, have a great weekend, and God bless America.